Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Moletrap here in the hizzy, coming at Yizzy, with Game 2 of Samsung Khan versus CJ Entus in the Winners League, and movie in the house, we have the silver medalist. Movie has been sent out by CJ Entus to face the never come close to a medalist of Great for Samsung Khan. He's always, well, he's Great has always done kind of decent in the Pro League, but he's never really accomplished anything individually. Movie, of course, recently just managing somehow to get all the way to the finals, of course, to lose to Flash in the MSL. And very decent run of it, although I've never really thought of Movie as being a terribly, terribly good player. He's good, though. I mean, he's been basically kind of one of CJ's better players, along with effort, that the reason why they've been doing decent in Pro League this season. Anyway, before I get too far into this, I want to give a shout out to Jacob Ploxination Lind. Jacob's buddy sent me a donation, and I always say if you want to shout out in one of my videos, and anything I can do to show my appreciation, and he wanted me to give a shout out to his buddy instead. So very nice of him. So Jacob Ploxination Lind, how's it going? Anyway, and he didn't know that was coming either, so hopefully he got surprised by that. We got Great, by the way, is the Zerg player here, in case you didn't catch that in Game 1. Top rightish area, about 1 o'clock. And Movie's going to be the white Protoss player at about 3 o'clock, so they're a little bit close together here. This is the map Neo Tornado, by the way. I don't actually know what's too different about Tornado. I didn't realize there was a new Tornado until I just looked at the map name just now. Oh, I guess he's at 4 o'clock, isn't he? His expansion's at 3. Anyway, Movie's going to do a good job of going down here and stopping this hatchery from going down. It's always a really good idea to do that, if you can. I mean, sometimes you have to abandon that just to do. What does he do? Oh my gosh! Wow. Usually in Korea, it's the females, the girls that are like more embarrassed to like be on camera, and like that time, like the guy was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and the girl's just like, what are you doing? You're embarrassing me. Cut it out. She was just like, well, she actually didn't even look like that. She was just like, whatever. She didn't even notice. Maybe she didn't even notice she was on camera, but the guy was totally freaking out. Anyway, early pull down for Great, and so Movies had to put down a couple cannons first. Well, it's a pretty nice placement there too, actually, making a nice little wall, so it'll be hard for Zerglings to run around it. And he's got a nice little gap between his Nexus and his cannon, so very nicely put together wall there. Something that Day9 always talks about when he's watching these games. He gets off on properly placed door walls. Anyway, if you ever watched him, I think I've said this before, but if you didn't hear me before, you should definitely go check out Day9's show. He does a daily, it's not like every day, but he does a lot of probe is gonna go down, and not a lot of scouting information had by that probe actually. Didn't really get to see, didn't stay alive long enough to see what was going on, whether the layer went up or anything like that. So he doesn't really know if it's a 2-hatch build or a 3-hatch. He may have seen that he saw that gas mine going up, the extractor. And I guess he probably should have expected the extractor to go up earlier if it was a 2-hatch build, so I guess he could probably anticipate 3 hatches. Although he doesn't have any idea if that hatchery was like in his... Well, yeah. Again, he can kind of anticipate it's in that 3rd location somewhere, but he doesn't exactly know. Just a single Zergling now hanging around outside. That's interesting. He's got most of his Zerglings at his natural, and only a single Zergling outside of that... outside of Movies expansion to see what comes out of there. Oh yeah. So Day9, he does a show where he analyzes pro games. He doesn't do play-by-play as much as he just actually does a hardcore analysis. He'll bring the video back and forth and stuff like that. And he's obviously incredibly greatly superior player to the likes of me, so he can give a lot more in-depth analysis of what's going on. Anyway, so check his show out. He's really good. Anyway, I think he's go to livestream.com/StriderDoom. I believe it's his live stream account. And there's a thread on TL about that has links to all the shows he's done. Somewhere on there. Day 9 Daily is what it's called. Anyway, so just kind of building up here. We got a sort of a normal thing going on here. Got a couple zealots running around. Probably now this is the thing is movie. He's pretty good at one of the reasons he's pretty good is he does good timing attacks. I've seen him do some good stuff in PvZ, but he's getting a robo up actually. So we're not going to see the timing attack I thought he was going to go for probably. Well, I didn't think he was going to go for it, but that I was going to talk about. You know, I think one of the way he beat Zero actually in the MSL was by doing a nice, beautiful timing attack where I mean, the Zerg player will just get drones and drones and drones and drones and drones, and the Protoss player is getting tech and tech and tech and tech and tech, and Zerg player doesn't often expect the Protoss to move out a little bit early with a small group and attack, and that's exactly what he did. Is he moved out a little bit earlier than expected. I mean, like if he'd moved out a minute later, then Zero would have had his defenses up, and he would have been able to hold it off, but instead his third got overrun, and then he was just too far behind. So anyway, but he's got a robo up, and it's a very early robo facility, so we're probably going to see him move into Reavers and do some kind of a Reaver harassment. I would love to see some Sarah Reaver. I'd love me some Sarah Reaver action. But I don't know, he may just get a couple Reavers. That's also, you know, lately we've been seeing players get Reavers early, just because Zergs have gotten so good at doing a Muta switch and then picking off their Templar. Oh, what did he see? Okay, yeah, he did. He probably did see that robotic support bay actually with the Overlord, so he knows that's coming actually. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, sometimes we do see players just get a couple Reavers early just to defend because. Corsair goes down and the Overlord lives as well, and that other Corsair is going to run home to Mama saying, Mommy, there's Scourge around here, because that's what the Corsair pilots sound like, by the way. Anyway, a little bit of skirmishing going on the outside. Ooh, Scourge sneaking by those cannons, going to try and sneak in there and pick off a Corsair as it's rallied, but it looks like the Corsairs are in the area, are going to be able to get out of the way, and is he going to be able to get back to his home base? Yes, he gets back there. Scourge still hanging around nicely, right in the path. Movie, how much of a noob are you? Oh, what are you doing? Oh, no. Did you see that? Great. If Great had just sat on his hands for those 3 seconds, he would have killed that Corsair. He placed the Scourge perfectly in the path of the Corsairs rally to the front, and then he moved them out of the way for no reason at all. Oh, Great. You're not great, sorry. You're just good. He's just good. What was I talking about before? Oh yeah. Just to finish that thought finally. So they'll make a couple Reavers just to do some harassment because it's so easy to pick off Templar these days, and then they'll transition into Templar later. So it might not be a full Sarah Reaver. If he was gonna go full Sarah Reaver, we probably would have seen a second Robo actually, and we haven't. So he's got some Ceres, he's got a Reaver and a Shuttle. He's probably going to try and do some harassment with that and then switch into a macro game. And oh, look at those Scourge. Nicely done. He knows this is coming. He saw the robotic support bay. So he knows that some kind of a Reaver harass is coming. He's lined up a bunch of Scourge along his route. Corsairs are going to be able to clear that out. No, again, he's moved the Scourge out of the way of the path that Movie was going to take, actually. So that's interesting, and it would have been better if they were spread out too. So now the Scourge are clumped up together. It's going to be a lot easier for him to avoid them, and a lot easier for him to pick them off with his Corsairs, and he's just going to be able to go all the way around. Coming in the back here, he's going to be able to run the Reaver straight in there. The Scourge are probably en route right now. They're going to try and target that shuttle. Corsairs are going to try and fend things off from the shuttle, and a Spore Colony is now going up. So pretty ineffectual little harass there going on, and... Sorry, it just occurred to me I should double check to make sure this is actually recording. Since sometimes I have issues, I always double check if I can to make sure it's recording beforehand, before I really get into the game. Just switched over to Audacity and made sure that the waveforms were popping up. A bunch of Hydras coming out now. He's got his 4th base up, so looks as if Great is taking an economic lead here. He's got this 4th base going on, and we don't really see Movie in a too good of a position to move out and take a third base of his own. He doesn't really have much of a ground army. He's mostly hoping to do some. I mean, it looked like he was hoping to do a lot more damage with that harassment than he actually did. I mean, he hasn't lost anything because he still has the Reavers and the shuttle and the Corsairs and everything. There are a ton of Scourge in the air. Wow, Great is really